The repair bay doors of Station Helios 9 shrieked open at 0300 hours, and Rhea Corin looked up from the plasma conduit she'd been rewiring to see something that shouldn't exist. A dragon. Not the mythical earth kind from old stories her grandmother used to tell, but close enough to steal her breath. The creature was massive, easily 15 feet at the shoulder, with scales that shimmered between deep violet and midnight blue. Its 6 wings were folded tight against its serpentine body, and its 4 eyes, arranged in pairs above and below, glowed with bioluminescent desperation. In its talons, cradled with heartbreaking gentleness, was something small and still. "Please," the dragon said, and Rhea realized with a start that the word came not from its throat but directly into her mind. "Please, you are the mechanic, yes? The human who fixes everything?" Rhea set down her tools slowly, her mechanic's coverall suddenly feeling inadequate for whatever was about to happen. "I fix ships and equipment, mostly. I'm Rhea Corin." What are you?" "I am Vylra of the 1000th Spiral." The dragon's mental voice trembled. "And this is my daughter, Scylla. She is dying." The creature stepped fully into the bay, and Rhea could see the smaller dragon now. It was perhaps the size of a large dog, scales dulled to ash-gray, breathing in shallow, painful gasps. But what caught Rhea's attention, what made her engineer's mind suddenly click into focus, were the crystalline structures embedded along the young dragon's spine. They weren't biological. They were technological. "The integration chambers," Vylra continued, lowering her daughter onto Rhea's workbench with infinite care. "Our people bond with quantum crystalline matrices at maturity. They enhance our natural abilities, allow us to navigate the void between stars. But Scylla's body is rejecting hers. The medical cast says there is nothing to be done, that she is incompatible." Rhea moved closer, her hands already reaching for her diagnostic scanner before her brain fully caught up. "Why come to me? Surely your people have technology far beyond—" "Because you are human," Vylra interrupted, and there was something in those words that sounded like desperate faith. "I have watched you for 3 cycles, mechanic Rhea Corin. I have seen you repair Zelthari phase drives that their own makers declared unsalvageable. I have seen you jury-rig life support for 17 different species using parts that should not work together. You do not see impossible. You see only not yet solved." Rhea ran the scanner over the young dragon, and her display immediately filled with data that made her wince. The crystalline matrix was indeed killing Scylla, sending feedback loops through her nervous system, cooking her from the inside out. But it was also keeping her alive, having integrated so deeply that removal would mean instant death. "The problem," Rhea muttered, falling into the zone where fear gave way to focus, "is that the interface is trying to force compatibility. It's hammering a square peg into a round hole." She looked up at Vylra. "I need to ask you something important. Is this matrix unique to your daughter? It was grown for her specifically, attuned to her quantum signature before implantation. Then it should work." Rhea's fingers flew across her diagnostic pad. "Which means the issue isn't the matrix itself, it's the translation layer. Your daughter's biology is trying to communicate with the matrix, but they're speaking different languages." She turned to her workshop, mind already racing through possibilities. Every species in the galactic community had their own approach to biotechnology, their own philosophies about where biology ended and machinery began. The Zelthari used phase-shifted implants. The Korthine preferred genetic modification. The humans were the crazy ones who would try anything, combine anything if it meant solving the problem in front of them. "I have an idea," Rhea said, pulling up schematics on her main display. "But I'll need your permission. It's experimental, and I can't promise it'll work." "She dies in hours without intervention." Vylra's mental voice was steady despite the grief radiating from her. "What do you propose?" "A translator matrix. A buffer layer between your daughter's nervous system and the quantum crystal. I'll use adaptive neural mesh, technology we developed for interfacing between incompatible computer systems, and program it to learn both languages simultaneously, then translate between them in real time." Rhea was already pulling materials from her fabricator, her hands moving with the practiced efficiency of someone who had spent years turning theory into reality. The human approach isn't to force compatibility. It's to build bridges between incompatible systems and let them figure out how to talk to each other. 3 hours later, as the station's artificial dawn began to glow through the viewports, Rhea made the final connection. The neural mesh, gossamer thin and laced with quantum processors, wrapped around Sila's spine, interfacing with both her nervous system and the crystalline matrix. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the young dragon's eyes opened, all four of them, and they glowed not with pain but with wonder. The dulled scales began to shimmer, color flowing back into them like water filling a dry riverbed. Sila stood, wobbled, then spread her wings, and the crystalline matrix along her spine blazed with light, harmonizing perfectly with her movements. "Mama?" The word appeared in Rhea's mind, small and confused but vital. "Mama, I can hear the stars singing." Failra made a sound that no human throat could have produced, a keening of pure joy that resonated through the repair bay. She gathered her daughter close, wings enfolding her in protection and love. When she looked back at Rhea, her four eyes were luminous. "You have given me back my child." "The debt? There's no debt," Rhea interrupted, smiling despite the exhaustion. "That's another human thing. Sometimes we help just because we can, just because someone needs it." Failra studied her for a long moment. "Your species is very strange, Rhea Corin. You build no empires, claim no territories, possess no natural abilities that would make you formidable, yet you are here, on the edge of known space, making miracles from spare parts and stubborn hope." "Yeah, well," Rhea picked up her tools, already thinking about the plasma conduit she still needed to finish. "Someone's got to be the crazy ones who think every problem has a solution. Might as well be us." As Velra and Sila left the repair bay, the young dragon now practically dancing with newfound life, Rhea heard one last thought from the mother dragon. "The spiral will hear of this. The human who speaks all languages, even those between biology and machine. The one who builds bridges where others see only voids." Rhea chuckled and returned to her work. She was just a mechanic after all. Just a human with steady hands and a stubborn refusal to accept impossible as an answer. Just exactly what the galaxy needed, whether it knew it or not.